Hey everybody, good morning. We're gonna be going over how to set up and basically play your video game in this case in Ubuntu, but it means it applies for any other distribution. Um, so once you've installed your Steam, I'm assuming you got it from the steampower.com site, the official one, the dev version. If you have the Flatpak, it's a little bit different there. If you have the Snap version, which is the Ubuntu one, um, it actually comes configured with a lot of things, but in my particular case here, I'm using the Debian version. Okay, so not the Snap or the Flatpak, but they're all gonna be more or less the same. So first thing that you gotta do is you go to the Steam settings after you logged in and you got your games here ready to play. And once you're in the Steam settings, there's a compatibility thing here that you gotta enable. Once you enable that baby, select Proton Experimental. You can select any of the ones that are here. There's some specific games that only work on a specific version, but for the past, you've seen the channel, for the past probably 2, 3 years, I've been using Proton Experimental. And before that, I've been testing Proton Experimental for several more years. So I'm fine with that one. Imagine Proton Experimental as the beta version and Proton Hotfix as the just came out version. Okay, so this is more sensitive to changes. This is changes have been tested so far a bit, and when you see the actual official version, like here Proton 10 beta, it means that they've been thoroughly tested a lot. There's still things pending, but they're being thoroughly tested a lot. In my case, I use Proton Experimental. That's it. Okay. Once you select your thing there, you can restart the game. I'll restart later because I'm already there. Another change that you gotta make sure that you do is that in-game, some games don't like the Steam overlay. Some games do. Some games actually need them. Here's where you play around with that. Okay. So it doesn't like affect you or something. And lastly, for the downloads, and if you're like me, um, you want to allow games to be downloaded or updates being downloaded while playing the game, here's that option. If you don't like seeing bits instead of bytes, you have this option here. So I'd rather see the bytes reality there. Sometimes clean the cache here in the download section actually helps with specific games. And in my particular case, I have shader pre-caching disabled because that little thing starts sucking up a lot of the storage on your site. Okay, I'd rather wait for the game to actually take a little bit longer to load, which is just a little bit longer, than for me to actually see here. For example, I had 12.5 gigabytes of shaders there for even games that I had uninstalled already. So I disable this puppy here. So the most important one is the compatibility here. You Proton Experimental, you reboot, and that's it. How do you install Grand Theft Auto? Somebody asked that there. The same way that you would do it on Windows. Install it, boom, boom, and you play it. If you have the Proton Experimental, then you don't need to enable it here. If you don't, then just come here, compatibility, Proton Experimental, and that's it. Again, right click, properties, compatibility, and you can do that. For certain games, you gotta do a specific version, but that's like really rare. One out of, I don't know, 1,000 or something. There's like I remember there was a game here. Let me see, let me put all the games here. There was a game with the letter A or something along the lines of that, that I needed to set a specific parameter for it to actually work. You can see that on ProtoDB. You can see it on my channel in case I cover the game. I always include the parameters that I use for that game. As you can see on this one, there's no parameters. Okay, so I'm just gonna play the legacy thing here. This is the same way that I would do most of the games. That's it. No parameters, no nothing. I got my Mango HUD loaded automatically for the whole environment. You can see that you gotta have the Rockstar account here set up, or at least the linking of the Steam and the Rockstar one. and that's why it loads like this. Let me remove the, you can see that I loaded my Extreme Linux there. Put the Mango Hut back again. I downgraded from the 575 Nvidia driver to the 570 because of tooling issues, for work related issues. That's it. But I didn't perceive any performance issues. So let's go to settings. Let's see what I have here. I forgot what the hell I had here. Okay, so you can see on settings, the settings that I have. Okay. And there's something else here. Okay, let's go to story mode so you can at least see the frame rate or whatever. So the advanced settings are full and the normal graphics settings are full. Let's check out the performance, but basically how you would play any game on Steam in this case. Not with Wine, but with Steam. Get this. I'm gonna remove the radio. There we go. You know, for legal reasons or whatever you want to call it.
Oh crap, that hurt.
Sorry.
Don't become no murder case now, nigga.
Where you? Hurry.
Out the car, nigga.
Rats.
Coil. If I drive like I anyway, you get the point. I want to play, no issues, no nothing.
Woo, too close.
That's it. Okay, so that's basically how you can play any game there. If I open the finals, let's just do an update there. I'm actually installing, for testing purposes, Last of Us. Somebody recommended this game to me. Same here. Okay, you can just keep on playing your thing there. Let me see, The Last of Us. So you can get a gist of, is it possible, because somebody asked, is it possible to finish a game on Proton without issues and all that? So here's The Last of Us. At the end, basically, it's a beautiful game. There is the movie, HBO, I think. They actually captured the game very well in a lot of parts. Not all of them, but in a lot of parts. And yes, you can finish the game without any issues, anything bad happening, okay? And you can see that the game is actually running some background. I don't know if it's security things there, um, or whatnot. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about the loading of the shaders there. You can see that I can select left behind, which means I basically passed the game already. I love the ending. You gotta play it. It's a very well made game. Let's just put it like that. And part two is much better. But this is just to for me to explain to you that yep, you can you can pass a game without even noticing that you're playing on Linux. Okay. The performance is on most games the same as on Windows. On most games. There's some games you gotta take into consideration that the game engine or the developers that make the game engine, they suck. I'm not gonna play around with that. They really suck. It's not the same quality of developers that we've been used to for the past 20 years, um, or 30 years, something like that. That right now, a lot of the game companies make really horrible games for just for profit, not even for quality. Um, and they behave really bad in some scenarios. Biggest case that I can still remember was that Deep Space version, the remake. Horrible. They did a horrible job. Then you got Hogwarts Legacy with the little caring about um, gaming optimizations, which is one of the things that they keep on saying in the discussion boards here. Same for other games, okay? You all know which ones I'm talking about, which ones are not. Most of the time, for example, PlayStation games like the Spider-Man, the whole thing, uh, Days Gone, for example, they're very well optimized, so I can't complain most of the time. But they're very well optimized. Others, not so much. So how do you play games on Steam? As you saw, you install your Steam client. You make sure that in the settings you're using Proton Experimental, you're ready to go. Make sure that you have the proper Nvidia drivers or AMD drivers and anything else related with that. Libraries related to Steam, Steam will take care of that. So basically, it's almost a one-click solution here for most games. And there's a specific page called Proton DB where you can go to actually see in case the game doesn't work for you, maybe others were able to figure it out there. I'll put it on the description below. Thank you.